What's up, guys? So it's another extremely hot day out here in South Florida. I've been at the beach basically on I don't know what you want to call it, mini vacation, whatever you want to say. Basically live in a vacation area, so you can kind of just do that whenever you want. But I want to be able to hop on here and paint a picture for you guys on the direct correlation between, risk and money, right? I kind of want to call it like the money chart, risk chart. I don't know what you want to call it. I want to start getting whiteboards as well. I need to get a whiteboard with a good stand that I could maybe set up out here. I think it would be cool with the aesthetic of this property as well. I think it would look super cool if I was able to, hop on a whiteboard and give you guys kind of visual representations as well. For now, I just asked ChatGPT to make me a little visual representation. So I want you guys to put this into your mind and kind of, have this understanding, right? Think of a graph here. So you got the top and you got the bottom, right? At the top, you're going to have potential money, right? The higher that goes, the more money potential there is, right? I'll show you this as well. And then the bottom is going to be your risk, right? The risk to reward ratio. I would rather say just the risk, that the higher the risk in general. Here, let me show you guys. So you got your potential reward up here and you got your risk ratio. So take a screenshot, boom, cool. ChatGPT made it for me in 5 seconds, just so I can have a visual. You guys can have a visual as well. I want you guys to look at that and understand that if you want to have extremely low risk, it's a risk to reward ratio chart. Wait, hold on. Yes, so that makes sense. Risk to reward ratio makes perfect sense. Obviously in trading, if you're doing a 1 to 2, a 1 to 3, a 1 to 5, a 1 to 10, you're going to risk 1 to make 10. You have a higher risk to reward. But that's not exactly the chart I'm looking to look at here. Okay, Chad just made another one. So here you have over here potential reward again, and then you have your risk level. So again, higher the risk is going to be higher the reward. Exactly what it says right there. Your higher risk, the higher the risk that you're taking in life is going to correlate to the higher the reward, right? The higher the reward is going to be. So I want to just really put this into your mind. A lot of people might already understand this, but it's still an important topic that I haven't spoke about. For example, if you want to have low risk, guaranteed income, and something that you don't have to worry if you're going to get paid this week and have a set income, then the job is for you, right? The job, the 9 to 5, that's for you, right? Sometimes we need that. I'm not even gonna be here sitting on jobs. Sometimes we need a job. Sometimes we need something that's guaranteed to come in, whether it's for a couple weeks, couple months, maybe it's for a year or two. In my case, it was not for years on end, but sometimes you need a steady income to come in, right? And that's going to have low risk, low reward. Really, all you gotta do is show up and listen to what your boss says. But obviously, then you could add in another correlation of that's taking up all your time, a lot of your time. Maybe I could actually spin this video into when you should quit your job and take entrepreneurship and trading full time, because I know many people that make money trading, they do entrepreneurship, etc. And I just know, I'm like, yo, if you just quit your job, bro, and took those 8 hours a day that you spent at your job and put it into what you're doing as a side hustle, you would 10x. Instead of making 5K a month, you'd be making 50K a month. I see this all the time, countless times. I'm like, bro, you making this much? You realize if you just put your time, right? Because 8 hours a day is a third of your day. If you just put that time into what you're doing on the side hustle, which you're probably only doing half of that time on the side hustle, you'd scale up and make more, right? But then it comes back to, again, the risk to reward, right? Do you want to hop into a higher risk, right? And I feel like as a man, even as a woman, as somebody who is a winner at life, you're going to make it happen regardless. I think you're going to make it happen regardless. So the risk really is more of a mindset thing. You might sit there and be like, oh, well, Nick, what happens if I quit and I only have 3 months saved up, 4 months, whatever, 6 months, and I can't make it happen? I feel like that's just the wrong mentality. I feel like if you work with the right people and you have the right game plan and you're structured with how you use your money, that won't be a concern. Right? I feel like you'll be able to make it no matter what. If you gave me no money at all right now, $0, and I had to make all my bills by the end of the month, I would make it happen. I've done that before. There have been times where I quit my job in 2018. Right as I turned 18 years old, I said, I'm not going to work anymore. A week before I turned 18. I said, no, I'm making this shit happen. Okay, I'm not saying I haven't done other things, of course, but my 9 to 5, I quit. And I said, I'm going to make this shit happen. And there have been times from 2018, 2019, whatever, that I didn't have much money. And I was sitting there in the month, and I'm like, damn, if the month ended today, I'd be screwed. If the month ended today, I'd be evicted. I'd be screwed. But there have been times like that, but you know what? It's never happened. You know what? It's never happened. That's the thing, right? Are you going to be that guy that makes it happen? That's the difference. That's the differentiating factor between the successful people who make it and the people who don't make it. That's the differentiating factor, right? Are they going to make it happen, or are they going to fall short and not make it happen? It's very simple. It's very, very simple. So if you want to get out of your 9 to 5, you want to quit your job, you want to scale up to an income that actually you could feel free, I think an income that you could finally start to reap the rewards of time and financial freedom is probably, in this day and age, like $30,000 a month. 5 years ago, maybe it was like $20,000. This day and age, you're looking probably at $30,000. I mean, you're living good. You don't have to worry about money. You could travel wherever you want, really at any time. You could do whatever the hell you want. $30K a month. That's like a pivotal number. $10K is fucking nothing. I'm sorry. If you think $10K is an achievement, it is an achievement. Don't get me wrong. It's a huge achievement. But at the end of the day, it's not money. There's no money there at all. You can't really be free with 10K. Can't really do much. I'm just being realistic. Right, you start to go past 30, 40, 50. I remember when I made my first 30, it was like 30 to 40K a month. It was in 2022. I was hitting 30 to 40K months. 2022. I was 22. Did I spend it crazy? Yes. Was I stupid? Yes. But I remember hitting that and finally feeling a lift off my shoulders, and finally feeling at a time where I don't have to worry about rent ever. I don't have to worry about bills. I don't have to worry about doing shit. I finally felt that feeling. That feeling's gonna come at around 30, 40K a month. Really, once you start passing 20, that's when you're really gonna feel it. Ish. I know people that make 100K a month, and they're like, I don't know, 200, 500K a month. I know people that have made 500K in a month. I know people that have made millions, $4 million, $5 million in a month, and I'm like, damn, that's what I'm trying to get up to. But anyways, no income claims here, of course. But again, going back to what I was saying before, guys, your risk is going to determine the potential reward, right? But risk always comes with potential loss, right? That's what a risk is, right? You do something risky, you do something where there's potential loss, right? You want something with no potential loss, go work your job. Do not work with me. Do not work with the person that you're seeing online that's living that life that you want to live. Do not work with them, because they had to lose money. They had to risk it. They had to risk it for the biscuit, man, in order to make it happen. So if you really want to make it happen, you gotta increase that risk again. I don't know if you guys could even see it. I think you can see it. Higher the risk. Oopsie. Higher the risk, higher the reward. Let's see if there's another one. Higher risk, higher reward infographic. That is that is not what I'm looking at there. But thumbnail maybe. Higher risk, higher reward, guys. Very simple. If you want to stay down here at the bottom part, work your job. You want to go over here, start investing. You want to go over here, start a business. You want to go over here, start a business and start investing. You want to go over here, invest more than you spend. That's what it comes down to, guys. So this video's fire, bro. This video people need to watch. People need to watch this. And going back to what I was saying before, I think like in the beginning of this video, midway, I said I was going to do a spin-off to having not only the risk to reward factor, but also when you should be quitting your job. I think if you're making $5K a month at your job, and you start making another $5K a month at your business, and you start putting that money away at $5K a month, I can't speak with people who have families necessarily. You have a wife, kids, you're the breadwinner, I get it. Can't necessarily speak on that, but understand and get your own judgment and go from there. But let's say you're making $5K at your job, another $5K at your entrepreneur, you're making $10K, you start to put aside money, save up to where you have at minimum 3 to 6 months in potential. I've made zero money in 3 to 6 months, and I can still live and pay my bills and take care of myself and my family, whatever. And I think once you have that and you want to be, a boss, an entrepreneur, trader, that's when you gotta take that leap. Because two things are gonna happen when you take that leap. Two things. Number one, you're gonna fail right on your. You're gonna fall. You're gonna fail. You're gonna learn. Maybe you're gonna go back and get a job, but at least you tried. Second thing is you're gonna go from 10K a month. You're gonna triple that. You're gonna 5x that. You're gonna 10x that. You're gonna make 30, 50K a month, 100K a month. Why? Because instead of 8 hours going towards that 5K a month, and the X amount of time that you're spending on your side hustle, that's also making you 5K a month. Maybe it's 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours of the day. Now you put in 8 hours and you, boom. Now you put in double the time into that work. You should be able to scale it from 5 to 10K and take over that job and that side hustle. And now you're at a point where instead of making half and half job, half side hustle, you have one business, one, obligation, work, income, whatever you want to call it. Trading, whatever you want to call it, one play, one move that is then scalable according to risk. And you don't have to sit there and be stuck at a couple thousand, 5K, X amount, get taxed, only have 2 vacations a year, not have time at all. And you could scale up from 10 to 20 to 30. You reach time freedom, you reach financial freedom, you start going to 50, you start going to 100, then you're absolutely rich, and then you can take care of your family, you can do absolutely what you want. Everyone hits their dreams and goals, and we go from there. So I hope this video gave you guys some value, some gems. Subscribe if you guys haven't. Probably be over here or over here, I don't know. Subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate you guys. In the bio I have my Instagram, follow me on Instagram, and I also have my Discord. It's a free Discord, free. Just join, you'll see everything that I'm doing is in there. And there's also a section for you to get started with a free community as well, guys. We want to be able to give as much value as possible. Yes, there are ways to be able to work one-on-one, etc., but I want to be able to give as much free value to people as possible and as least gatekeeping as I possibly can. Because what we're doing now, we could be charging every single person a subscription. We could be charging people big upfront, etc., whatever. But again, subscribe, like, comment, share. Do what you guys gotta do. I'll talk to you guys probably tomorrow because we're consistent. Let's get it. Peace.